The Java project is mainly we are using the JavaFX and then the Raspberry Pi, and then this connect to the networking, so that this is the networking switch, so that my JavaFX is running on this computer, so that this is another wire. This one is yellow is the Raspberry Pi, and then this I'm not sure is I think it's the white color will connect to my desktop. You can see that, so that this will be our in our scenario, because in the factory they have a Raspberry Pi used as a HMI to act as the interface to control the machine like PLC, etc. So that you can see that currently I connect the LED here, so that I will connect the LED here to make it light up, so that we can control from the JavaFX control to here. So that currently I need to recording for my desktop operation in order to let you guys understanding how to do this very well. So that before we start, I need to find the IP from our Raspberry Pi, so that we need to access the router to because this is connect to the router, so that we need to access the router to find out this is the router, so that currently I'm typing the password, so that we need to access, and then we need to find out the IP or our Raspberry Pi in order to access it. So right now we are access it already, so that we can see the wire because we are wiring, right, so that we have an unknown, but my Raspberry is different, it's using the using the wire, I think so. So that the IP is this one, because I connect to the yesterday connect already, so I know that, so I need to connect. So this is IP, so rest I need to typing the password to in order, because the monitor is not right up, so I need to connect this one, so that currently you access it. So this is so before we start, we need to open out our web application, so that this is SMPP for you. So we start our Apache, MySQL. So later on we will open out the Tomcat by using the Java app for the well. So this is our final project. So this is the place store the backend. I need to code, so that we're using the git bush to open up, using typing the code dot enter, so that we enter this one actually MySQL for this connection. Later on we will see how to do this, so that we are connecting, so that the database you can see from here by using the localhost phpMyAdmin, so that we can check the database. This one is our database, so this is our database, and then this is our backend. We run our backend, so that later we can call the API. This is the backend Spring Boot, so that we write the API. We have a store. This is using the object-oriented or the constructor to build it, a controller. This is the later on we need to call this responsive and services. We can test our API like this. Localhost, because the port is 2080, because I setting that I scale will crash the port, so that this is the how we test it like this. So later on this will implement in our this is the API. So later on we will implement it for our JavaFX, so we can see this. So that this is our startup for the Raspberry Pi, so that we are connecting already. So that we need to access it using the command. This is the Raspberry Pi cd desktop. So that this is the, so I need to cd d2144 a ls. So that you can currently see, you can see that we are not running anything because an LED is not light out. So that this is wrong profile. So that we need to exit. Yeah, I make sure I am recording for the desktop. Yes, I am recording the desktop already, so don't worry about it. So that this will be uploaded in the YouTube for you guys reference how to launch these applications. So that paste typo. This is a Linux command, so that you can see that we're using the VNC so that how we running this, if not mistaken, we need to run like this. Python, Python, change the localhost or URL. Forget how to launch it. Yes. Yeah, we need to run something like this for the Stack Overflow, because I forget how to run this already. Because I need to access from the main computer, so that I need to change the IP. Just now the IP is the I'm not sure it's what I think like this. So this is the Django. This is the Django server. Not server, Django backend. So that later we'll call the thing like this. So this is our main application. Later on we'll submit. You can see this is the file. Okay, this is a launch JSON. Okay, how we set up in the Visual Studio Code? We need to go to this one, command planner, create the Java project, and then no tools, and then we'll come out the JavaFX. We need to include the library from here. Although we include a library, but we also include the SQLite to run the SQLite JSON, etc. So that in order to run, we need to use the launch to add in this line to run the JavaFX. Otherwise, we cannot run it. Then this in order to run, need to make sure to run this JavaFX media JavaSF.web, because we are using the Webview. So that this is a C++ program I'm using as a client, but it's not main application. Now this is the application, not application. This is the CSS for the design. This is the database SQLite. This is the FXML designer. Use the scene builder to build it like this. Use the scene builder to build it like this. Now we can open and then open. So this is our main page. So later on, you guys can see it. So that I just close it, because later on we will open a lot of things. So I prevent it will be hang or something. So I need to close it as we can. Okay, but before we start out, because we have a server, right? We need to run this server. Check server. Suppose it have a check server. Cut. Paste here. We push here. Put. So we need to run the chat server like this, because later on we'll test the application. This is the chat server. Okay, now it's waiting the connection. So that I need to close this, and then in the submission, I have the SQL, not this one. In the submission, we have this one project. You need to import this into the just now we show the phpMyAdmin into this in order to access it. So that currently we need to run this. This is application, the main application. So this is our first view. So stock management. Okay, this one is using the access the Spring API So that you can see this how we call it. Read. You can see now we are calling the string because you can see this the string, and then we have delete. Delete, how we delete? We delete through the IP because in the string we means that if want to delete this one, maybe we want to delete this one, we need to write the IP ID for this one 100000, and then we can delete it. Then I say create, also create is all, need to all add this add also based on the IP ID because in the coding we use like that. So example, I need to search for it. So this is how we return the result. So this is the for the REST API Spring Boot integrate with the desktop. So this is the main application. So this is the check server. So that we can open up the two check server. Because currently we don't have other user. So that what is the IP? Localhost ma. So that. So we set the port is 8090. Because we scale conflict the port. Connect. You can see here I set the port already. This is one is multi-threading so that we can log in the user like this. We log in guys. So that currently is 0 online. You can see this. This one is C++. The server is using the Java, so that don't worry. I also using the Java, so that online guys you can see this. So that after we log in this one, we need to log in this another user. You can see the response. Enter. You can see online. So we need to message from the left to the right. We can see how we message it. Hello. You can see the guest also say hello. So this is a multi-threading so that we can handle a lot of the traffic. So that this is our use case. So that's all for the second function. E-commerce is basically about the website. So that we need to open out the website like this. We using the Apache netbean. So this one is run on the fish or something, server fish. So then we need to run this in order to view the application. Need to wait for the launching. After that, we need to launch it. Okay, Glassfish server. So that you can see this. Currently, we have a Tomcat, Apache, and Glassfish. So that we affect the crashing of the port. So that we need to. This is our website. Interesting. We cannot solve it. We can see this. This is the website. We using. So this suppose we will happen see this website, but maybe it's slow. Then, so this business chest is the future feature so that we haven't created. So that now is the interesting part. The IoT. IoT is mainly using the Raspberry Pi. You can see that we have a because maybe the Raspberry Pi GPIO will control the motor and etc. So that this will be the future feature, and then sensor the data, and then we can configure the IP. Currently we don't use it. So that we need to see how do we turn on and turn off. Turn on. Wait, no response. So this one can close it already. Maybe it's wiring problem. Yeah, wiring problem. So that we need to try again to let you guys know. So the hardware is the issue. Hardware is problem the circuit because we not focus on the coding. We need to make sure the circuit also connect very good. So turn off. You can see turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. How we using in the stock management because in the stock warehouse they have the light, they have a motor, they need to measure it like RFID. So that this is the RFID module. We can do this in the future. This is the LED. Maybe this is will be the interface to connect it as our application. And then this is the water pump motor. Maybe can pump the gas something. And then maybe we can conclude the microphone so that in our application, etc. Maybe we can add a Wi-Fi ESP32 as our module, etc. And this one is for the similar ESP32. This also, so that this one is the controller. They have like the chip. This one also have, but it's very small power. And then this connect to the power, and then to light out control for the IoT and IoT stuff. So that's all. So that we can see this. Turn on, turn on, turn off, turn on. Oh yeah, wiring is a problem. Yeah, wiring now is okay. Okay, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. So this is how we're using the JavaFX. You can see this for the Raspberry Pi. They have you can see the breakout turn get LED, turn off, turn on, 200 means it's successfully. So that's all. So that, and after that we need to do the it. So for the human resource, we're using the SQLite. So that how we watching the SQL database, we're using this one, SQLite. Also open the browser, open the database. Because this is a Java final project. Source database, open it. So this is our database. We can see the data. Browsing the data, you can see hovering here, so that you can see how we build our data. Read. So that there are some hovering, etc. So same goes, it can be delete and exit, etc. So the human resource, I can search for something like but this one is based on the name, so it's different for the previous. Previous is based on the ID. This one is based on the name. It's not mistaken. Yes, you can see the return result. So that POS haven't built the feature. So this one is a special is using the file system. Open it, you can see pop up the name, etc. So that it's basically based on the file system here. Supplier file system. We're using the reading the file. File system supplier. You can see file system similar to here. So after that, calculator 1 2 3, you can see calculate 5. 1 2 3 plus 5 is 128. You can see that you need to clear because I said like this. 1 2 3 times 2 the 246. Okay, that's it. So that's all. Actually, we have a customer this done already. So that we also have a sounds. Open the music, but currently it's the earphone so that you cannot hear. But the problem is this one is cannot stop the music. You can hear it, right? This is appears. Yeah, just like that. So that we can check our later course how to use this. Later on, we'll upload the video. If you click this, you redirect to the YouTube. Not redirect, it's a Webview to the YouTube. This one also. This one is for my personal GitHub. So we will upload the latest version code here. So this is the all of the applications will be source code. We upload. This is the source code. Source code. Yeah, this is a source code. Gmail. Yeah, you can download it for the main application. So that I think that's all for my project. If anything question, you can ask me in the Q&A in the comment section in the YouTube. So that's all. So that this is the ID and then extra. So that this is advanced stock management. So that In the future plan, maybe we can build a lot of things from this API services, because we can store the data in the database, and then fetch the data to the API, and then approach and then process into the ML server or the Android, so that we can build the mobile web desktop application, and then maybe in the factory, like the human interaction, like the smartphones, like a car application. So that's all. This is my presentation. So that's all for today. Thank you.